Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to continue my physical TBR that I talked about last video, but instead I kind of decided to revamp it and just do like a special little video. I'm gonna do a bookshelf tour here sometime, but I wanted to show all of my self-help books because I have a lot of them and most of them I have not read, but I'm very into reading about things that interest me. But I do want to add a trigger warning. I will be talking a little bit or showing books about some things that could be triggering. Some things like sexual assault and abuse, trauma. I will be bringing up a few religious things because I have some religious books. Narcissistic abuse, things like that. So if you have any, just be aware that those are some trigger warnings. But I thought I would start out strong with something positive here. And so again, I'm just going to be showing all of my self-help books, and I'll do a bookshelf tour another time. The first book that I want to show is Go Gently by Bonnie Wright. And Bonnie Wright plays Ginny Weasley in the Harry Potter movies, and that's not the reason I got this book. But anyways, I think that's a really cool piece of information. This book is basically sustainable living, it says concerned about the environment but unsure how to take meaningful action, and it just kind of talks about that. There's lots of things about, I think it's upcycling, but like planting foods, different ways to cut back on money and just help the environment, and that's something that I really, really care about and really like, especially with my poor health. The next books that I want to show, I showed one in a previous video. It's a big stack here. They're all medical medium books by Anthony William, and they are all to do with healing, mental illness, physical illness, everything like that. So this is the kind of base book, the medical medium book, which I have not read all of these, but I have read portions of these books and I've done different things. Cleanse to Heal is another one. I have not done anything in this book. It's a medical medium book. I've done a 28-day cleanse, and it truly changed my life, and I want to get back on living this way. He also has Life-Changing Foods, which again, a lot that he talks about is to do with foods and vitamins and things like that. Celery Juice is another one, and this one I really need to read everything in these books. Again, I've read portions or skimmed certain things, but I noticed that my health improves so much when I drink celery juice every morning, and it's something that I want to continue for the rest of my life because it makes a huge difference, and that means a lot to me. And then there is Thyroid Healing, and the last one is Liver Rescue. So these are obviously very specifically tailored books for your thyroid and your liver. And yeah, medical medium is the first place I send anyone if they have health concerns or if they struggle with autoimmune diseases or mental illnesses or anything like that. I've spent all of my 31 years of life ill, and that is where I found the most help, the most effective, life-changing things, information. Yeah. The next book I want to show is just a little tiny simple book here. It's called The Art of Simple Living. I'm not sure how the lighting looks on camera, it's getting late, but this book is just little tiny things that you can do and like little quotes and stuff, and it's just really cute. And I'm not a super happy person, so I like little things like this that can just give me a little pick-me-up. Haven't read all of this book either. Most of these books, like I said, I haven't read. The next book I'm super excited about. It's Heal Yourself with Color, and I thought this was really intriguing. The lighting looks really bad on my camera, sorry. I thought this was really intriguing because I'm always looking for ways to improve my health, to heal, and yeah, again, I haven't read this, but it just sounds so cool. And then I'm really big into, well, I'm starting to get big into like plants, and someday I want to have a garden again when I move out of this basement suite. But this is plant witchery, and this is, I don't know exactly everything it entails, but when I was looking at it, when I bought it, it's just like little ways to incorporate plants. Obviously not like herbs and eating and stuff. It's more how to use them. This is about like, it says magical and medicinal properties, abundance, cleansing, things like that. I'm just intrigued. I don't completely believe in all the spiritual things, but I love gaining the information. I think it's really cool to learn. And then I'm going to go into, I guess, my more religious books before I go into any heavier topics. And again, this is like self-help books, so these are pretty heavy books. So bear with me. This next book is called Paganism. And my cousin read this book and read the entire thing, absolutely loved it. She found it was the best. It's not really self-help book because it's about paganism, but she just found it really good. If you're dealing with deconstructing religious trauma and different things like that, she's read me portions of this book, and I'm really excited to read it and do a lot of highlighting. And these next books go back to the religion that I was raised in, and again, I just thought I'd show these instead of on my bookshelf tour because they're more specific and not everyone will be interested in these. So if you're not interested in these kinds of books, you can just skip this video and watch my bookshelf tour when that comes. But this one is Believing Christ by Stephen E. Robinson. I have read about half of it, and so when I was active in my church, I really, really liked this because I liked the way it explained a lot of doctrines and things like that. And I'll probably finish it. I'm just not sure when I'll pick that up. I can't speak. I'm so tired, guys. I apologize. It's been a day. I've just felt like crying all day, and I have, so I guess today's topic of books just kind of fits the mood. This next book is Jesus the Christ. This is the journal edition, which is why it's extra chunky compared to its normal chunk. Again, I'm not super religious into this kind of stuff right now, but I still want to read this because I'm still intrigued by what this book entails, and I'm sure you can pick up on what it's about by the title. And the last religious book is The Infinite Atonement by Tadar Callister. And this one, again, I've heard so many good things. This is also the journal edition, and I'm just intrigued to read about it and the information, even if I never really believe in that stuff again. I'm still intrigued knowledge-wise. Okay, the question is where to continue. Probably here. The next book I have is The 5 Love Languages, which I have read lots of portions of this book. I'm pretty familiar with this book. I just haven't read it cover to cover, but super helpful if you want to know your love language or your significant other's love language or just anybody in your relationship. This has been really helpful in just my friendship with my cousin and getting to know myself, and I'm excited to read this cover to cover eventually. Now we have Complex PTSD from Surviving to Thriving. I picked this book up because I struggle with complex PTSD, and when my therapist brought this up to me, I started looking into it and found this book and just really want to learn more about it so that I can start dealing with that trauma, unpacking that trauma. Oh, this next book is also from a therapist. Well, that book wasn't from therapy, just the complex PTSD aspect, but this book was recommended to me by my therapist. Nonviolent Communication, and I have started this. I don't have a bookmark in it, so I'll probably have to restart it. But I did start this book, and I loved what I read. It's just how to communicate better so it's not so offensive or harsh, and I'm really excited to learn how to communicate better and just have better conversations. So that's another one. This next book we have is Power. You will see a theme in the next few books because I have a theme in here, and all my books were just put together of the same theme. Power, surviving and thriving after narcissistic abuse. So I've been in relationships like this before, and so narcissism is something I'm very passionate about learning and deconstructing my own personal trauma from the relationships I've had. And so I have a lot of books about narcissism, which the next one, Becoming the Narcissist Nightmare, that's just a sassy title, and I was intrigued by the title and what it talks about. I'm not going to go into what all these are about because I haven't read them and I don't really know, and Amazon is great for that. But again, just want to learn how to move on from trauma, I guess. Is that all I have? I must have I had a whole bunch more narcissism books, but I only kept the ones that I thought I would actually read. This next one I have actually read all the way through, finished, and that's The Gaslight Effect. And this book changed my life. I read it I think I started reading it in 2019, and I have highlighted so many things. I have posted so many things about this book. I want to go back and read this because it has so much good information, and gaslighting is a real thing. This next book was also recommended by my same therapist, The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. And I have not read this one yet, but I am very excited to do so because it seems more of like a wholesome healing book instead of talking about traumas in the same way. And I haven't read it again, but I'm excited. I'm excited for all of these. That's why I have them. These next ones are pretty heavy topics, so beware. This book I got, I think, before I got married. And They Were Not Ashamed. I wanted to learn more about, it says, strengthening marriage through sexual fulfillment. Words. I'm just really passionate about this topic because sexual relationships can be very, very good. At least I've heard. I've never experienced one, but I would like to, and I want to know the good side of it. I would like to know the good side of it, not so much that I want a good anyways. Different topic altogether. I don't know what I'm talking about. This next one is The Rescued Soul, and I have read this one. Not cover to cover because the big chunk of it is journaling entries, and I'm not good at journaling prompts, but I have read everything before the journaling prompts. And this is The Healing of Incest and Family Betrayal. This book was so healing and so good, and I didn't deal with this stuff growing up. This was not a part of my life. I have not had to worry about that in my family life, but I have had to in other relationships, and this book is so healing to me. And this next one is the Gaslight Recovery Workbook. I don't really like workbooks or prompt books, but this one looked really good, and because of my trauma with gaslighting, I thought it would be very helpful. So I will get around to doing this one eventually, but I have not yet. The next book that I have is The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, and it also has a bonus book that's How to Attract Money, which is always nice and helpful. When I was working with my previous therapist, he was trying to help me realize that I could change things with the way that I thought, and I do believe that. I do believe there's other aspects to healing, but the mind is a powerful place, and I am beginning to learn that, even though I still am not great at living that way. This next book I have read, it's just called Rape. I picked this up because this is a topic I am also very connected to. I read this very quickly. It's a very short, easy read. And it wasn't written the best, I don't think, but it was definitely healing for me to read. So if you're interested in any of these topics to feel validated or to gain more information, I highly recommend at least the ones I've read. This next one is Rising Strong by Brené Brown, recommended by a friend. I have read a little bit of her works before, but this one was recommended by a friend of mine, and I started reading it, haven't finished, but I'm excited to read more about it. Ooh, these next ones I'm really excited about. The Highly Sensitive is the next book. Negative energies and stuff like that is also a topic I'm very excited about. I like learning about, I like delving into, and I deal with things like this. So I'm excited to read this book and know what it's more about. And kind of along the same lines, sort of, at least to me, is the book Quiet by Susan Cain. And now I have heard a few people talk about this book and how it's helped them to feel seen and validated, and also just to know how to, I guess, work with themselves in this world. So I am an introvert through and through. I'm excited to learn what's in this book so that I can hopefully feel the same way that other people have. And know how to work with it, because being an introvert can be really difficult sometimes, especially when you want to do things with people but you're just not that person. This next book is Mindfulness by Ellen J. Langer. I have read this book almost cover to cover. There was a chapter that I skipped that I just could not get into. But this was a very good book. I feel like the first half was really helpful. The last half kind of dragged on. But it's the power of mindfulness and just opening your perspective and seeing things differently. And I thought it was very, very good. Next book is, I'm sure we can all kind of, a lot of people know about this movement, the #MeToo movement. I haven't read this, but I really want to, because I'm passionate about speaking out about these things, even though I struggle speaking out, because there's always another side of the story and I don't like dealing with the backlash. So I'm excited to read that book and at least just take the information. This next book is When Love Hurts, a woman's guide to understanding abuse in relationships, which I think all of these are pretty self-explanatory, I hope. I'm so low energy today, guys. I'm sorry this video is a little, but I mean, I really want to know the information in these books, and it's a hard topic to be positive about, I guess. The next book is The Body Keeps Score. This was also recommended to me by the same therapist. He recommended so many books to me, and it was also an assignment of mine to read Harry Potter from him, which I did. But this one is Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma. This is just how you can keep trauma in your body. There's probably way more to it, but from what I know, you can hold trauma in your body, and I want to learn how to overcome that, I guess. These next two are both by Lindy Bancroft. This first one is Why Does He Do That? Inside the Minds of Angry and Controlling Men. Pretty self-explanatory, not going to go into detail on these. The next one is The Joyous Recovery This one seems a little lighter topic-wise. A new approach to emotional healing and wellness. So I do like the deep, heavy, darker side of things because I feel like what I've been through is seen. Not that I like that side, but I enjoy that there are things out there so that I can understand what I've been through, and what other people go through. Not that I wish they had gone through that. And I don't generally pick up these kinds of books because putting a happier twist, not a happier, I can't even think tonight, a lighter twist on things or a more positive twist is less validating to me because sometimes it just doesn't get better. But on that note, I am grateful for these types of books because you do need the positivity. If it's always dark, it gets really difficult. And this next book is 3 books in one, but they're all about dark psychology. Again, need I say more? I just kind of explained that, going into the darker side of things. I'm intrigued by this. This next book is Parenting with a Toxic Partner, Helping Our Kids Survive and Thrive Against Emotional Abuse. Not going to go into that, but excited to read that and to gain some knowledge. These final books are both by Dr. Joe Dispenza, which a doctor that I saw really loves Joe Dispenza, and I got into these books from him. This first one is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, How to Lose Your Mind and Create a New One, and this is about, your thoughts and the power that your thoughts and your mind have. And I think this next one might be a little bit as well, but it's Becoming Supernatural. How common people are doing the uncommon. It's always great to know that we are a lot more powerful than we think we are, and for lack of better words, we are a little magical. So I'm sorry that this video was so, but I'm just trying to get videos out, and today was the day I chose to record, even though it's a really awful day. We're not going to talk about it. But if you're interested in any of these topics, I hope that some of these books can be an opening to more knowledge. If you've read any of these books, and leave a comment if you're excited to read any of these, or you're excited to learn about some of these. I am a knowledge junkie in a way. Not that I look everything up, but when there's a topic I care about, I want to read about it, I want to know about it, and the dark, heavy topics are things that I'm passionate about because I know what it's like, and everyone should feel seen and validated. And on that note, I have no idea if you enjoyed this video, but I hope that you got something out of it, and I will be back with a much better video in the near future, I hope. Until then, I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye!